Dr. Fauci and a lab leak out of Wuhan. This is pretty amazing, and anyone who's paying attention would know this straight up from day one. These things aren't hard to comprehend or understand when you understand the lens of what's happening in the world and the globalist power structure and the control they want. Read the Conspirators Hierarchy, the book. It's a short book, but it just goes in and totally dismantles all these narratives the globalists are trying to feed you, and through academia, through public education, government education, media, and this is beyond obvious because there's very simple reasons to know this is obvious, and it is what it is. These are learning lessons for everybody at the end of the day, and everyone has to come to their own conclusions in different ways. But when you have mayors of cities like the one in New York City offering up cheeseburgers and fries and things like that for people to get vaccines, or just people being ransacked, running down beaches by themselves, being tackled by police and things like that, and this happening in America. This is not a third world country. This is not a country that has bad property rights or system of law or something of that nature. This is how you know very quickly, and we talk about it all the time. The reason I want to make a quick video on this is not to go down the lab leak theories and all this stuff. When you have Fauci himself, literally, I think we played it on our channel like a year or two ago, Fauci literally in 2019 going through and doing a 30-minute documentary with one of the big anchors on the mainstream news and going through all these different pandemics and plagues and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, the last minute, he just says, I'm so scared. I feel like I need to wear a mask everywhere. And like, I'm just going to be killed every time I wake up and go out the door. And Fauci just laughs. And he's like, don't worry about that stuff. Don't live your life paranoid. Just get some exercise, eat right, get some sun, and take your vitamins, and you're going to be totally fine. There's nothing to worry about. And then cutscene, 6 months later, we're all locked in our houses. And really, by choice, admittedly, for most people, that's really what it was. Most people just said, yes, I will like a sheep go into my pasture and I'll close the gate behind me. And that's what most people did. And that in and of itself is a beyond scary topic that we can get into a different day. However, when you know that, when you know the origins of these people, Fauci being a political asset, and then also seeing him talk like that, and then also just flip the script completely, like I said, mayors, political people. I mean, you had Gavin Newsom literally with the medical professionals, pictures of him dining like a week or two later after they locked everyone in their homes and the city's just empty, and then he's in there like, dining at one of the restaurants he shut down with like all the medical people like laughing and stuff like that. I mean, that stuff got censored, and again, that's another way. It's like the whole point of this is to know very quickly how you're being screwed over, or really first principles and how to think and how to use common sense. When you see those things happening, those things being censored, and then there's context, and then it's taken down. Well, that's how you know there's a pretty good chance that, hey, that person didn't want me to see that. There's a reason that that's the case. Now, a lot of people would take it like, well, they just, they're better than us, and they're doing more for us, and they just need to blow off steam and things like that. That is a childish way of thinking. I don't know how else to put it other than that. And we seek truth. We question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself, right? We want to be independent. We want to be resilient, be able to think for yourself. Rights come from above. They come from God. They don't come from government. No government official is going to tell me what to do. No government official is going to tell you what to do. That's not how life works. We are here and we give them certain permissions to work and do things on our behalf. That is it. That is it. That is how government works here in America, and that's how governments work everywhere in the world. This is how it works, and that's how it will work in every part in the world eventually. Someday. It might be 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, 10,000 years from now, but that's how life works. It's not that, oh, I'm so happy the government gave me some money this week, the government gave me some rights and freedoms I can... No, the government isn't there to pick and choose what freedoms you can use today or not, what money you can use today or not. That's the people. Rights come from God, money comes from people. It's the transactional value created in the exchange of value between people. That is it. And that is how things like this, like color me shocked. How do we not know things like this happen? Well, it's because I went and did research. I went and watched documentaries. I went and watched Glenn Beck, and I watched 100 different documentaries over the last 3 years of all the evidence. Literally, just mountains of evidence. The redacted, I mean, think about this. Fauci, they had emails come out. They had hundreds and thousands of emails come out, some of them redacted, some of them not, saying, hey, this is how we're going to cover this up. This is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to do that. And all the gain of function research, and back from 2015 and Moderna and Pfizer, and going back 20 years and going through this whole litany of things. And it's very obvious when you put in the work. And it's very obvious who puts in the work in society. It's very obvious who doesn't put in the work in society. Life is about proof of work. Again, that's why I'm a Bitcoiner. Bitcoin is proof of work. It's built on, I actually have to do something to get this Bitcoin, this money. And then I have to trade it with another person who provided me with another level of work, and then we're going to make a fair trade for each other. We live in a fiat currency system, fiat inflationary society, where people just print up currency out of nothing, do no work for it, and then shovel it, propaganda here, advertising campaign there, this and that, and they steal that wealth from every single person, a fraction of everyone's dollar in existence by doing no work. So we have grifters and rent seekers and boobs and suckling at the teat and the Warren Buffetts of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, these people who might have done something productive in society before, but now they're just grifting off the system. Now they're just collecting interest and doing nothing and telling us we're going to the sun, the most beautiful thing we have in our solar system, and we're going to blot it out with fairy pixie dust. Bill Gates is going to, and what tragic events would lead to that or lead from that. It's just mind-blowing to me. And yet we have people that, again, another reason. Joe Rogan isn't allowed to say anything because he's not a doctor, apparently. But then Bill Gates, who's not a doctor, is allowed to say whatever he wants. I mean, this is how you need to be independent, resilient, and have your freedoms, because then otherwise you're led by these people who are literally just saying, I know better than you. And again, you go back to the conspirators hierarchy, the Club of Rome, all these people, and it goes back 100 plus years. And it goes back to these people want a fraction of the population to exist. And this is in their words. I mean, you look all this up. This is not like uncommon knowledge for those who have eyes. They want, they want less and less people. They want, at least half the population to exist. And they want to control whoever's left. That's it. I mean, that's literally it. It's there in the books. It's there, right there for anyone who wants to look. And that's why when you start understanding the lens for which we have to operate, then all this becomes very clear. Like, I just laugh at these things because I am a sovereign man. I am a free man. That is it, period. I laugh at all these people and like, oh, there's a lab leak and this and that. It's like, okay, cool, great. Like, you can tell whatever lies you want. You can tell this and that. Don't care. You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want to me. I don't care. Like, truth is truth. Reality is reality. 2 + 2 is 4. Gravity is not changing. It's very obvious. And when people can't see past this, and they think, the biggest problem I see with most people is that they think that government or elected leaders or unelected leaders have their best intentions at heart. That's what most people think. And that couldn't be further from the truth. They want power and control. Again, if you read, go back and learn history, then you see very quickly and very easily that that is not the case. And that's why government exists, to protect the people from the government and protect their rights. That's it. Let me know your thoughts and comments. I didn't want this to go as long, but I just wanted to give some reasons and show people how you can see truth and see reality using first principles and just seeing the contradictions that are going on and start to uncover reality. So let me know. Again, it's not financial advice or anything. Bitcoin, it's just freedom advice. I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk, and please let me know what you agree with and what you don't agree with. And again, if you got something on this and you think someone else could too, please share it with them. The algorithm is not truth friendly, as we know. It is not truth friendly at all. We need 10,000 times more people spreading truth in order to overwhelm this corrupt fiat legacy system that we have. So I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.